Yeah.
We're doing all right as well.
Thank you for asking.
Okay, thanks.
We'll just talk through the TV today.
It's Cliff, it's Zaina, and it's you. Thanks for joining us here today. Zaina's still filling in for Natalia, who should be back on Monday.
Yes.
Once again, coming back from overseas, or out of the country, I should say.
Right.
So, yeah, hi. Spending some time with you today.
Yeah,
yes.
We're spending a lot of time together. It's a special day today.
Yes, it is, because earlier, if you watched Morning Mix, which of course you see us on, today, April 25th, our second anniversary on air, which is, I got to say, 2 years longer than I thought it would go.
No. We're going to make it all the way to 50, 60, 78. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Sounds good, right?
Yeah.
Weeks. No, yeah, it's really crazy to think that it's been 2 years on TV already. Time really does fly. But it's been fun.
It has been. And we actually started in late January of 22 online. And a lot of viewers actually were watching online and, of course, carried over to TV. So, yeah, so happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. And thank you for you guys at home for watching both Morning Mix and Mix at 3.
Exactly.
We really appreciate it.
Exactly. A lot going on here today, so including a show that's going to be coming up. We got to speak to a very famous actor, a face that you will recognize. Going to come to that in just a few minutes. Let's go ahead and get started and talk about what's happening nowadays. An Ohio company, this is just really weird. An Ohio company is selling something that you never knew you needed until now. Meet Terminator. The company Throw Flame says it's the first flamethrower wielding robot dog, because that's what we need in our lives right now. It boasts an ARC flamethrower that delivers on-demand fire anywhere. Check out that little range scope right there. It can be operated remotely by Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. It shoots fire up to 30 feet.
Yeah. I don't think we need this, though. Cameras and sensors allow it to move autonomously through its surroundings. It can avoid obstacles and leap in the air. The battery life, though, up to an hour. That's not great when you think about it. Government agencies could use it for wildlife control and prevention. It could also be used for entertainment or, I don't know, apparently something like clearing out your driveway or snow and ice.
Well, it is a conversation piece, to say the least. Terminator can be yours for just a cool $9,420. The federal government does not regulate and does not use flamethrowers. Well, I guess they do. Maryland bans them. Good for you, Maryland. You got to have a permit to get this sucker in California. I'm very curious what you need to do to get Georgia and Carolina on this. Did you see that thing jump? I'm telling you, and I said this morning, this looks like the very first scene of Terminator. This is how it all starts. I
don't really think that anyone should have this, though. I think this is a very bad idea. And if you're using it near your home, I think you're going to have a larger problem than $9,400.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine the insurance? You can't get that covered. Is there a warranty? I mean, and like you said, it's a battery just for an hour.
It's not great battery life. And I'm scared if my neighbor has this. Like, even if I don't own one, I'm thinking about the people around me. I don't want you to own one either.
Yeah, because if you don't like me, that's not good in my corner.
Think about that either.
Yeah, all right. So, yeah, please don't get those, all right? So we were talking about, it's our second anniversary on Morning Mix. What age do you consider as someone who is officially old, now that we are 2 years old on TV? Researchers in Germany asked this particular question 8 times to more than 14,000 participants, and this was over a period of 25 years. They found that the answer has, of course, changed over time. So at the beginning of the study, the people in their mid-60s, they defined old as roughly 71 years old.
So more recently, people in their mid-60s now define old age as starting around 75. The ages given vary depending on the participant's gender, health, and just general happiness. Women and those who were happy and in good health gave higher ages.
Researchers say the higher ages given have to do with current life expectancy. It goes longer, you know, later retirement ages, overall better functioning in later years. The study was published in the American Psychological Association's journal Psychology and Aging. So, you know, I'm at that age now where I am considered old by some people, you know, the younger people. But I also used to be young and think my age was getting there, was getting up there, you know. Getting a little
think
long
so.
in the tooth, so to speak.
It just depends who you ask. Everyone has a different answer, but I just kind of go off your health and where you're at in life, you know. If you're still have a pep in your step and
Sure.
you're doing a lot and everything's fine, then great for you. You can be 70, 80, and I would still be like, hey,
You're
young. Okay?
only as old as you feel.
Exactly. That's the saying I like.
Every day above ground is a good day, and so on. The memories are the second thing to go. You know that, right? Okay, more to come here on Mix It 3. We talk with Emmy Award-winning actor Richard Thomas. He's currently touring with the Broadway performance of To Kill a Mockingbird. That's coming up next here on Mix It 3.
Richard Thomas is best known for playing John Boy on the 70s drama series The Waltons, or maybe you remember him in the Stephen King miniseries It. Now the Emmy-winning actor is taking on literature's best-known lawyer, Atticus Finch, in the touring production of Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird, adapted for the stage by Aaron Sorkin.
That show will be at the Columbia County Performing Arts Center on the 30th and May 1st. I got the chance to speak with Richard ahead of the arrival to our area. Absolutely pleasure to have actor Richard Thomas on the screen with us this morning. And Richard, thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you for inviting me. It's good to be with you.
Seriously, it's a fanboy dream right here. We got to ask, I mean, obviously we're going to be talking about the show that you're going to be doing at the Performing Arts Center, but let's start back from the really beginning here for you. Where did your love for theater and acting begin?
Well, I mean, I'm a cradle showbiz person. My parents were ballet dancers. I was raised backstage from the time I was a baby, and the theater was always a second home. And I started acting. I got on stage when I was 6, almost 7 years old, and started working. And then when I turned 7, I did my first Broadway show. And so it's just been one thing after another. I mean, my Actors Equity Union card is 65 years old last October. So it's been a long road.
7 years old and he's on Broadway stage. There you go. For many, obviously, people know you as John Boy from the Waltons, but you've obviously done so much else as well. And I've seen and heard that contemporaries call you like a working actor. What draws you to a role like this one in To Kill a Mockingbird?
Well, I don't have a plan. I just, I've just let the roles come as they come. I've been very lucky. They've just been coming for a long time. So I'm a lucky actor. But in this particular story, I was aware that they were developing the production that Bart Scher and Aaron had adapted it. Jeff was going to do it, and I thought, yeah, well, this is going to tour for sure if it does well. And I love to tour. I think it's a wonderful part of a theater actor's life. Not everybody enjoys it, but for those of us who do, it's a very special thing. And so I thought, well, this show's going to tour, and I cannot think of a play that I would rather take around the country right now, or a story that I would rather be telling than this one. So the invitation came, and I jumped at it because I was very excited about it. I like doing plays on the road. I like taking plays out. People just see almost exclusively musicals now, and it's wonderful to get a play back on the road that's doing well.
And it's a classic book. Many people have were reading it when they were in school.
Yeah.
And this is, I say, a little different from the book because Aaron Sorkin has adapted it. How do you like the differences between the written material and what you're performing on stage?
I love the differences, without in any way betraying Harper Lee's story or the spirit of her novel or the time and the place. He's really, in his sort of magical way, brought the perspective on the issues of the story forward, really, to our time. It's hard to explain how to do that, how he's done that, unless you see the play. But the first thing he did, which was so brilliant, was to just take Atticus off the pedestal and make him a far more flawed and vulnerable person who goes through a story of disillusionment, and loss of innocence that parallels the kids. So that he, rather than a sort of perfected father and noble guy that we should all admire and look up to, although we should, because you should always be grateful for anybody who's trying to do the right thing under terrible circumstances, right? He's made him a much more, I think, approachable and a much more vulnerable character who has a lot to learn. And so it's a great journey for the actor. And he's given him a sense of humor, which is like just like such a gift, because he's a very funny writer.
Right.
And the play itself is very, very funny, as well as being very dramatic and serious. He's also really enriched the roles of Calpurnia and Tom Robinson, much more so than either in the novel or the film. I'm sorry about this dinging. Much more so than in the novel or the film, and he's and so that the black characters have a much more powerful presence in the play, and I think that's really important. He's also done this great magic trick of writing the characters of the children to be played by young adults who are both being children in the story and remembering the story as adults. It's a beautiful theatrical convention he's created. It's just a joy to play. It's a wonderful piece of writing.
I got the chance to see it on Broadway, and I can't wait to see it here when you come to Evans. And this is an actor's question now. You're on stage. You've been on screen. You've toured. Which one do you like the best?
Well, I mean, I love it all, and I've been lucky that I've been able to do it all my whole life. I would have to honestly say that the theater is for me the home base for me as an actor, and it gives me a deeper pleasure than anything else. And it's wonderful to play. I mean, I'll be doing my 15th Broadway play this fall. And I played in LA, I played around the country, and that's deeply satisfying. But getting out on the road and taking a play to different communities around the country and experiencing the country and these communities that are so proud of their theaters and are so supportive of theater, you realize that theater as an institution does not just exist on both coasts in Chicago, it's all across the country. That's very satisfying. So, and I'm excited to get to Evans. I've never been.
Well, we are excited to have you. We can't wait.
Southern audiences are great, too. We love the audiences in the South. They're warm and friendly and fun, and we're really looking forward to it.
I guarantee you a warm welcome. Again, it's going to be April 30th and May 1st at the Columbia County Performing Arts Center. Richard Thomas in To Kill a Mockingbird. You can get your tickets at thecenterofcc.com or at ticketmaster.com as well. Sir, an absolute pleasure to talk with you. We appreciate the time.
My pleasure. Thanks for inviting me. We're looking forward to it.
Grab your tickets for that. Up next, if you're planning on some home remodeling or renovating, stick around. We're talking with a home remodeling expert on do's and don'ts. You're watching Mix at 3.
You're watching Mix at 3. If you're looking for ideas on how to improve or renew or just clean and organize your home this spring, well, you've come to the right place. Joining us is home remodeling expert David Scheinkoff with some great ideas on how to kickstart your home remodeling project. David, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, Cliff, and good afternoon to you as well.
Absolutely. This is great because I'm actually in the middle of doing a little bit of remodeling myself at my house, too. So I know a lot of people might try to do this, and it should be probably like an A, B, C type of thing, and they start on D.
Absolutely. It does happen. It does happen.
How should we start a home remodeling project?
Well, Cliff, I always say do a priority checklist. Whether you want to change the look in your decor or maybe create new space or even upgrade your appliances. Whatever the needs and wants are of your remodel, make sure that you research everything and budget it thoroughly before you start the remodel project.
Okay, and so now once you come up with this checklist and you've done you've crossed your T's, you've dotted your I's, you've checked your prices, what's the next step?
Well, I always recommend starting small and moving up. Upgrading your kitchen and laundry appliances can make a huge difference with the look and the usability of your space. And luckily, now through the end of May, you can get great deals on award-winning appliances because May is Maytag month. You can save up to 30% on select Maytag appliances now through May 31st. Plus, if you buy 3 appliances, you'll receive an additional $200 prepaid card via mail-in rebate or instant rebate. Just visit Maytag.com for full promo details. And if you're looking for hard-working kitchen appliances at affordable prices, consider the Maytag Performance lineup. It includes a large capacity cooling fridge, a range that sears with precision, a microwave that handles splatters, and a dishwasher with serious cleaning strength, all backed by a 10-year limited part warranty. If your home has pets, be sure to check out the Maytag Pet Pro washer and dryer to help conquer all that pet hair. I mean, it was named the best top-load washer for pet owners by Review.com. The Pet Pro filter in the washer removes 5 times more pet hair, and it's all available on Maytag.com and the participating Maytag brand retailers.
All right, and see, I have 2 dogs and 2 cats, so that's important for me. Also,
this is good. Flip, this is right up your alley.
It really is, and I'm a stickler for not measuring twice and cutting once. Make sure your spaces are the right size for the appliances that you get if you're actually doing some remodeling like that. What other tips can you give us here?
Well, a fresh coat of paint is always a nice way to have a nice, easy way to change the look in the space. Changing out the hardware, changing out the lighting. These are easy projects that you can do that have a big impact. Now, when you're doing these remodeling projects, make sure you have a timeline and try to stick to it. But know that there's always going to be things that come up, so have a contingency plan and be flexible. If you are going to hire a contractor, make sure that you have a clear communication plan and put it into the contract. That's really important. And then, above everything else, make sure you have fun.
I think that one thing you just said, contract. Don't just have it with a handshake. Yeah. Make sure that you're going to be able to follow up on all of that. David, great tips. Where can people go to get more information on this?
Well, if you want to learn more about May is Maytag Month, just go to maytag.com/May.
All right, there you go. We've got home remodeling expert David Scheinkoff with us. Hey, David, thanks for the time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Cliff, and I hope you have a great afternoon.
All right, appreciate it, David. Good information there for you, because we are actually in the middle of remodeling right now at the house. Well, you know, we do baby steps.
Okay, so little things here, little things there.
Yeah. Painting right now is the deal, but
I don't mind painting. My mom likes to paint too. Like the whole house has always been different colors.
That's kind of what my house is
really?
like right now. Yeah. That's just because.
You got to work your way.
All the way. More to come here on Mix at 3. The latest entertainment news coming up. We'll be right back.
Movie news now, from The Muppet Master to a rom-com remake to a story about tough times and friendship.
That's right. David Daniel has your Hollywood Minute.
From a very early age, he had the feeling that he was here for a purpose.
The creator of some of the world's most beloved and iconic characters is profiled in Jim Henson, Idea Man. The documentary, directed by Ron Howard, premieres May 31st on Disney+.
Here's to apple trees, to cheese.
Here's to cheese.
Cheese. Wine and bread and laughter. And life itself.
Here's an update on the adaptation of The Four Seasons, the hit 1981 romantic comedy starring Alan Alda and Carol Burnett, about couples who go on quarterly vacations together. Steve Carell has joined Tina Fey to star in a Netflix series based on the film. Fey is a creator, writer, and executive producer on the show, which is due to begin production this year.
We've done everything together since we were born. You got dreams? Sometimes. Whoever had a dream that felt so real you thought you was awake?
2 best friends are living in Chicago's Cabrini Green housing project in the early 90s in We Grown Now. The critically acclaimed film, which was nominated for 3 Independent Spirit Awards, expands from limited to wider release Friday. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
That one's going to be a tough one.
Oh, and he already has a little tear. Yeah, you're going to need your tissues, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I'll get ready then for that. Listen to this. This may not surprise you, right? Taylor Swift, once again shattering records. The artist's latest album, which dropped Friday, became the most streamed LP on its first day across Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music. The double album, titled The Torture Poets Department, was streamed 300 million times on Friday on Spotify alone, while its opening track, Fortnite, became the platform's most streamed song in a single day.
That's right. It's actually crossed to 1 billion plays now on Spotify. This is Swift's 11th studio album, and with it, she's literally outdone herself. She's taken over the Spotify title previously held by her 10th album, Midnights. And then last year, Swift also became Spotify's most streamed artist overall with more than 26 billion streams worldwide. It's nice when you've only yourself to beat. Crazy? Yes.
Isn't that?
But you're doing it.
Millions, just one day. People were waiting up. Like, good thing she did it on Friday. She was smart about that.
Right.
Because most people, if you're off on the weekend, she knew what she was doing, because that would have been probably bad for a lot of people on a Monday night or Tuesday night.
And then that surprise
waiting.
dropping extra music as well.
Yes. Okay, hey, way to go, Taylor. She's on top. She's staying on top. Well, several Madonna fans in Washington, D.C. are hoping to see the singer again, but this time in court. They filed a class action lawsuit against the Material Girl. The fans say they attended Madonna's concert in D.C. last December. The show was supposed to start at 8:30, but Madonna did not appear on stage until about 10:30.
Yeah, the suit says fans felt deceived by Madonna and by concert promoter Live Nation. You always hear Live Nation now. The fans said they had to leave the show early because of its late start. They also complained that Madonna lip-synced most of her performance. One fan paid nearly $1,000 to see her on stage and says no one gave ticket holders a heads up that the show would start later than advertised to. Another group of fans filed a similar suit against Madonna as well last year after a late concert start then. So you see a pattern here. There are a number of artists that will show up late, sometimes maybe 30 minutes late, 40 minutes late.
Sure.
Not cool, but
that's 2 hours, right? You said
Yeah.
8:30. And the thing is, you get there early.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So people were waiting longer than that.
come up with a good explanation.
Oh, okay, Madonna.
Hey, have yourselves a great Thursday, guys. We will see you tomorrow.
Have a good one.